In this lesson, we will begin modeling the base of the golf cart using a polygon cube. Let's make sure the interactive creation is turned off. We're going to let Maya create our geometry at the origin. So let's go ahead and get started. Selecting that. Zoom in here a little bit. And I'm going to come over here and under Inputs, I'm going to select Polycube 1, which we just created. I'm clicking on Width, and with the middle mouse button, I'm going to click, hold, and drag, and we'll make that about 6 wide, 6 units. And the depth, click and drag with the middle mouse, we'll make this about 16, looks pretty good. And for the height, I'm going to lower it a little bit down to 0.6. Okay, let's select 5 on the keyboard, go into shaded mode, and let's add some subdivisions here. First starting with the width, and we're just going to put 1 in there. The purpose of that is we're going to delete the faces over here, and we'll only model one side of the vehicle to start with. And for the height, I'm going to also add 1. And for subdivisions on the depth, let's put in about 5. Okay, I'm going to go into the side view, zoom in a little bit here, right mouse click, select the vertex. I'm dragging a marquee over the last group here and selecting W and moving these down, just repositioning them. This is the back end of the car, the trunk area, and this is the front end or hood, and this is the center area here, which I just opened up to make a little bit larger. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and select faces and delete this half over here. So now we'll just begin modeling and adding some resolution to this side of the vehicle. I'm going to click on the outside faces. We're going to extrude those now and bring them up. Something like that. And I'm going to come in here to the side again. Let's go into shaded mode, and I'm going to shape the front end here. Just bringing this one up, this down. These are just broad strokes right now, very simple, basic shapes we're going for. We'll start adding a little bit more resolution in a moment, but we just want to kind of block in the basic shapes. So the next thing we're going to do is add the wheel wells. We'll start with the first one here. So under Edit Mesh, we're going to say Offset Edge Loop Tool. And selecting this one right here in the center, if we kind of click and drag on that, we can bring it in. This places them equal distance. So that looks pretty good. Let's add another one back here. We're clicking on the center one and then dragging them into position. That looks pretty good as well. Okay, let's quit out of that and let's begin shaping these now. So I'm going to right mouse click, vertex. I'm either dragging a marquee. We don't have anything on the back side to worry about, so you can either click on it, drag a marquee, select W, let's pull it up a little bit, and I'm clicking on the outside one, shift click the other outside one, selecting R, and I'm scaling it in. So we've created that curvature here for the wheel, and we'll do the same here on the front. Selecting the center one, lifting that up, shift click the outside two, and scale those in. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to just position this one over a little bit to even it out. Same thing here. And that looks pretty good. Back to object mode. And we've got, sometimes Maya will do that, it will not refresh itself. So let's just select faces, click off, and go back to object mode, and that usually cleans that up. So now that we have our wheel well shaped out, let's go in and extrude the faces. We're going to select everything but the wheel well. So let's select face, holding down the Shift key. Let's select all the faces along the front here. And with that selected, let's hit extrude, and we'll pull that out about to there, just the distance that we need to create the wheel well for our wheels here. And that looks pretty good. Hitting Q to get out of that, going back to object mode. And let's add a little bit more resolution in the front here just so we can shape that scoop the way we like it. So insert edge loop tool, place one here and one down here, as well as one on the back. Let's do two on the back here. That should give us enough. Go to the side view. Click out of that. Select vertex, and I'm just going to shape these something sort of cartoony. You can sort of move them around as you want. Oops, make sure you drag a marquee and get both sides. I'm going to pull these wheel wells over here, straighten that out a little bit, and I'm pretty happy with that. I might come back and reshape a little later. And coming to the back now, and I'm going to just move these in a little, maybe drag out the bumper a little bit. And we can do the same here. Let's just shape the front end a little, create a little bumper, and maybe something like that. You can always kind of do something a little more extreme if you want some more edges in there. I'm going to leave mine kind of a little more rounded like that. Okay. Right mouse click, back to object mode. And that looks pretty good. So in the next lesson, we will add sharpness to the edges by adding tension lines as well as more detail.